Good afternoon. Today I'm making German chocolate cake, and I'm also making lemon bars. So I'm going to do the lemon bars first. And so this is my ingredients for my lemon bars. I have 6 eggs, a half a cup of sugar, 1 3/4 cups of flour, 1 cup of fresh lemon juice, 2 sticks of butter, a half a teaspoon of, which is 1 cup of butter, a half a teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of vanilla, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, 6 tablespoons of flour, and 2 cups of white sugar. Okay, so we're going to make the dough first, which we're going to add the 2 sticks of butter, the half a cup of sugar. Make sure I add all this butter. Every bit counts. Okay. The vanilla and the salt. Okay, that's what you add, and you mix. Let me move this out the way. Okay, you mix all that together. This is the dough part. So we want to make sure all the sugar is melted. We don't need a mixer for this. It's very easy. Make sure the sugar is melted. Everything is at room temperature. The butter is melted. It's at room temperature. So the dough is a sweet dough. It's like a cookie dough. And I have the oven at 350. I'm going to turn it down to 325. 325, and you bake it for 22 minutes. Okay? So when you see the ends, the sides of it golden brown, then you add it. So I'm going to add the flour now. And you fold that in. So this is your dough. This is your cookie dough. This is what it should look like. Okay? Okay, now I have a baking dish. And you line it with some parchment paper. So take the dough and put it in the dish, the baking dish. And you and you press it out. So it's very buttery and smooth. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna put this in for about 15 minutes. So you're basically cooking the dough. All right, 15 minutes. So we put it in. Put the dough. Okay. All right. So now in this bowl, we're going to add the sugar, 2 cups of sugar, and the flour. Okay, and we're gonna mix that together. And this bowl, get a fork. We're gonna beat the eggs up. Then we're gonna add the eggs. We're gonna add the eggs to the bowl, to the sugar and the flour. Add that and the lemon juice. Okay. Add the eggs. And the lemon juice, a cup of fresh lemon juice. So this is lemon bars I'm making. The next we're going to make the German chocolate cake, and there's a lot of steps to that one because you have to make I'm making an icing, like a coconut pecan icing. So we're going to do all of that step by step. So this is my filling for the lemon bars. We're going to have to wait 10 minutes for that to bake off, and then we're going to add it. So actually, it's about 20 minutes in the oven until the sides get golden brown. So I'm going to put it back. I'm going to take it out of the oven now. I said about 15 minutes, but it's actually 20 minutes. So Now I'm going to, I don't know if you see, the sides are golden brown. And the dough is done. So I'm going to take this dough, this filling, this wonderful lemon filling, and pour it over the hot dough. And put it back in the oven for 22 minutes. Okay? Put it there. All that good stuff. Put it back in the oven for 22 minutes. Okay? And yeah, it's about 20 minutes, 22 minutes already. I'm going to take the lemon bars out of the oven. And it's done. Look how that looks. That looks nice. Yeah. So I'm going to let it cool. Let it cool. And then I'm going to slice it and then put some powdered sugar over it. Okay? But it's done. Lemon bars. The sides are nice and brown. Looks delicious. Looks good. So this is going to shrink. It's going to shrink. It's going to go down. And yeah, then I'm going to sprinkle some powdered sugar over it. And then slice it up. And do a little presentation when it's cooled down. Okay? Now I'm going to get ready for the German chocolate cake. Get all my ingredients together and I'll be back. Okay, so I have all my ingredients for my German chocolate cake. Flour, sugar, oil, sour cream, 2 eggs, baking soda, buttered milk, salt, espresso, baking powder, cocoa powder, vanilla. So in this bowl, I'm going to add the dry ingredients: the flour, the sugar, the salt, the baking powder, the baking soda, and the cocoa powder. So we blend all this together, whisk it all together. This is going to be the cake part is going to be very easy. Then I'm going to do the filling part. Making sure everything is blended together. All the cocoa is blended together. This is the first time I'm using this recipe, because usually I have another chocolate recipe that I love, but I wanted to see how the one with the sour cream comes. I never tried it before, but it's the first time I'm using this recipe with the sour cream. So you set this aside, okay? So in this bowl, we're going to add the eggs. We're going to beat the eggs. Beat the eggs. The oil, put that in. Okay, this is the buttermilk, and everything is at room temperature. The buttermilk is at room temperature, the sour cream is at room temperature. So instead of me using espresso, I have a half a cup of chocolate liqueur. You add that in, and then you add your vanilla. Okay? And then you add your sour cream. This is 3/4 cups of sour cream. So this is the first time I'm using the sour cream, because usually I just make my straight chocolate cake, and that is really good. So I just wanted to I wanted to see how this will come out. It's my first time using this. And now we're going to add the chocolate, the flour mixture to this, and I'm going to fold everything in. Now let me get all of this. I can smell that liqueur. It smells really good. And the coffee, the reason that we're using the coffee, it brings out the richness in the chocolate. It's really good. Gives it a good richness. Okay. So now we're going to add our dry ingredients. Okay. And we're going to fold it in. Excuse me. Ooh. The flour. So I'm going to fold it in. Look at that. That looks really good. This didn't take very long at all. See that? Didn't take very long at all. Okay, so now I have 3 pans, and I forgot to take out my spray. Oh, this is done. There you go. I have another spray. Okay, so I'm just going to spray the pan. And this goes in, it's at 350, and this goes in for half an hour. Okay? Bake for half an hour. So now I'm going to scoop out. Just want to make sure all this comes out of here, you know. this is about 2 cups already in the pan. Okay, so now I'm going to add the rest of this to that pan. And if you want it, well, you'll see what I'll do. Because usually I would just, I don't want it to fall again. Okay. Okay, so that's good. Okay. The cake is good. So I'm going to flatten it out a little bit. Make sure all the bubbles are out. Make sure all the bubbles are out. I got 2 pans. Just need 1 pan. Okay. So now it's on, the oven is at 350, and I'm going to put in the oven now for 30 minutes. And it's going to be done in 30 minutes, okay? Okay. So I'm going to put the pan on. Add my butter. My butter is melting away. Add my butter. Add my milk. Add my brown sugar. Okay. So I'm going to add my eggs now. And if you want, that was 3 egg yolks, but one of the yolks were a double yolk. All right. So if you wanted, you could toast the coconut and the pecan and then put it in. That's if you want it. Sometimes I do it like that. It gives you a better result. And I'm just going to stir it because I don't want to. Alright. I'm going to add some vanilla. Teaspoon of vanilla. I got to buy more vanilla. It's gone. These are the last 2 things that you put in. The coconut flakes. And I'm using 2 cups of sweet coconut flakes and a cup of pecans. A cup of chopped pecans. You gotta wait for the cakes to cool to ice them. And you have to wait for this to cool to ice, you know. So basically, this has to thicken up a little bit, and then you're gonna add the coconut and the pecans to it. See how it's thickening up? It's coating the back of the spatula. That's what you want to see, that thickness. So now I'm going to add my coconut flakes. There's 2 cups of coconut flakes. And that was a whole can of carnation milk. 1 whole can of evaporated milk. Now I'm going to add my pecans. So this is my pecan frosting for the cake. And you have to keep stirring so it won't stick to the bottom of the pan. I gotta get a bowl to put this in. But look how nice that is. You see how thick that is? That's what you want it to be. Okay, this is done. Now we're going to wait for the cake to cool and this to cool down so I can layer. I can put the frosting on top of it. Now I'm going to slice. Look how nice that is. Let me get a bowl to pour that in. Okay, that's it. That is good. That is delicious. So that's the frosting for the German chocolate cake. A pecan coconut frosting. Pecan frosting. So this is going to cool. And then when that's cooled down, I'm going to put the icing on top, the frosting on top. just have to cool also. So give me about 20 minutes. So the lemon squares or bars cool down. So now I'm going to add some powdered sugar on top. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to take it out of the pan. Okay. So I'm going to slice it up. It got a little dark. I kept it in there too long. So I'm going to lemon squares. Lemon squares. Very, oh, wow. So I'm going to plate it up. Look at that. Nice. The bottom got a little dark. Not bad. It's a cookie. Nice. You see the lemon and the cookie? Very nice. Lemon bars. So I'm waiting for the German chocolate chip to cool down. And then I'm going to frost that. Okay, my cake has cooled. And this has cooled. So now I'm going to ice it. It's not enough. And if you want to put chocolate on this, you can. But this is a German chocolate cake. And if you were layering it, you could put chocolate glaze on top, or a chocolate buttercream on top. So you just layered, put the top coating on. That's it. That's our cake. So now I'm going to get a slice. I'm going to slice a piece. Nice. Look at that. German chocolate cake. Woo! That's nice. That is nice. And it's so moist. It's very moist inside. Very, very moist. Very nice. Okay, so thank you for joining me. And I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, a wonderful week and weekend. I'll see you on next Tuesday and Wednesday. Bye.